let's get to the very first beginnings of your work, is the basic concept of the first 7 years of life and the programming that we go through. Can you kind of go over that whole concept? Like The Matrix is not
Yeah.
not a film, it's a documentary kind of concepts. I
Oh,
love when you say that.
absolutely, for sure, because this is where the crux of the problem comes. I could go talk about the cells, but we can start at this
Oh no,
level.
we'll get to the cells.
Yeah,
Don't
but
worry.
this level is really important level for the simple reason. The brain is an information processor. It's the most powerful computer that humans have ever experienced. And I go, significance is still a computer. I go, so why? I say, look, when you buy a brand new computer, you can go home, push the start button, it boots up, and then I say, well, do something. And then you go, well, no, I can't really do anything. First, I have to put programs into the computer. Then I can access the computer. And I go, it's exactly the same with the brain. It boots up in the last trimester of pregnancy before you're born, the screen's on. But until you download programs, you can't use the computer. So nature designed the first 7 years of our lives, last trimester of pregnancy, first 7 years of our lives. Our brain is not functioning at the level that we're talking at right now, conscious level, working consciousness. Our brain was actually not even in a consciousness level until around age 7 as a predominant state. I said, well, then where is it? And I said, well, it's a little lower vibration. And vibration, I mean, if you put wires on a person's head, you can read the electrical activity of the brain. For the first 7 years, we're at a vibration even lower than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. This is why kids under 7 can mix the real world and the imaginary world. You know, they ride a broom, it's a horse. They have a tea party. They pour nothing into the cup, drink nothing, and then say the greatest tea in the world. And I say, imagination theta. But theta is hypnosis. I go, well, significance. I say, after the screen boots up in the last trimester of pregnancy, you need to put programs on how to use this machine. And it actually, programming starts before you're born, because your mother is feeding the fetus with her blood, nutrition. And that's all we used to say in the old days. Well, how do you become a good mother? Well, you eat well, take vitamin supplements and exercise, and your blood is good for nutrition. Because we used to think the biology was controlled by genes. So all the mother had to do was just feed the baby, and the genes made the program. Well, that's completely wrong. And now we know that blood has more than just nutrition, has information, her emotions, her feelings, her hormones, how she's experiencing life. They go with the blood into the fetus and affect the same targets in the fetus as in the mother. So if the mother's not feeling secure, the fetus is not feeling secure. If the mother is happy, the fetus is happy. So that's when the programming starts. But for the first 7 years, when we're in theta's hypnosis, I say, so significance, yes, nature said, look, how many rules does it take to be a member of a family? How many rules does it take to be a member of a community? I go, well, thousands of rules. I go, you can't put those in the genes. Anyway, those things change. You can be in one culture with these rules, and these cultures got different rules. So the idea is, how do you learn the rules for where you are? And the answer is, first 7 years, you're in theta, imagination, but hypnosis. And I say, significance. This is how we download behavior to get ourselves off the ground. This is the first programs that go into the computer so we can use the computer. I say, well, what do you do? I say, you observe your mother, your father, your siblings. You observe your community. And in a state of theta, the brain is like a video recorder. It downloads behavior. It's downloading other people's behavior. And so that hopefully their behavior is in harmony with the world. So now your behavior should be in harmony with the world. Okay. After age 7, then like in a computer, you get to type on the keys. With consciousness, you can add what you want to the computer. So consciousness is the creative part of our mind. The subconscious is a hard drive. That's where the programs are. And I go, well, this is very significant, because programs are habits. So I'm going to say it's a habit mind. We learned how to walk before we were 2. And no matter what age, you could be 102, you're still walking. That's the same program you got before you were 2. It's a habit built in. Habits don't want to change, which we'll come back to in a little bit. But so you get the habits of what? How to be a member of family, how to be a member of a community. Of course, then your teachers are those other people. And if their life isn't that great, then guess what? You just downloaded a bad program yourself, because the first 7 years is programming. Point, as you mentioned, The Matrix is a documentary because the premise is everybody's been programmed. I go, well, that's not a premise. That's a scientific reality. Everybody's programmed for 7 years, and the programs come from other people. So now I say, well, wait, there's two functions to the mind. Everyone says the mind. No. Two minds.
To watch the full video, click on the link below. And don't forget to subscribe.